Once upon a time in the Igala Kingdom, there lived a king named Oma Idoko, Ata of Igala Kingdom. He had a beloved daughter called Inikpi. The king loved his daughter so much that the entire kingdom knew this, and the people called her Inikpi Omofido Baba, meaning Inikpi, the father's beloved. Princess Inikpi was the only daughter of King Idoko, the revered ruler of the Igala Kingdom. She was known not only for her beauty but also for her wisdom and compassion. From a young age, Inikpi was deeply loved by her people, often seen visiting villages, helping the sick, and sharing words of comfort with those in need. The kingdom enjoyed years of peace and prosperity until a formidable enemy threatened their land. The Igala Kingdom was at loggerheads with the Bini Kingdom, one of their strongest enemies. The Igala Kingdom was consistently invaded by the Bini warriors, and they had plans to wipe out the people entirely. The kingdom lived in fear of the Bini warriors for many years. They were often terrorized, including poisoning their streams, sudden attacks in the day and night, and laying siege to their farmland. When the people could no longer endure the pain that has befallen them as a result of the constant attack, they cried to the king, who then consulted the oracle, but the consultation did not yield fair feedback for the king, who had to pay a very dear price. The oracle revealed a grave prophecy: the land would only be restored if the purest soul in the kingdom sacrificed themselves to the river Inakolo, the lifeblood of the Igala people. Upon hearing the prophecy, the entire kingdom was plunged into sorrow. The purest soul in the land was undoubtedly Princess Inikpi. The king was broken and shattered. He was not himself and spoke less to anyone for many days. This disturbed the princess, who was the closest to her father. She tried to find out why her father suddenly changed after consulting the oracle. After so many questioning, the king finally told the princess about the oracle's decree. So what next? The people questioned in their hearts. They were lost in thought, thinking about what the king's final decision would be. They wondered, would the king consent or not, knowing the love both father and daughter shared. However, before the king could decide, the princess, who loved her father and her people as much as they loved her, could not bear the thought of holding off on the solution that would save her people and the land. So she decided to give her life. Knowing the immense weight of the prophecy, the princess made a courageous decision. She approached her father and the elders, expressing her willingness to sacrifice herself for the sake of her people. King Idoko was heartbroken. He pleaded with his daughter to reconsider, but Inikpi was resolute. She believed it was her duty to protect her people, even at the cost of her own life. The king reluctantly agreed, and preparations for the ritual began. On the day of the sacrifice, the entire kingdom gathered by the banks of the river Inakolo. The air was thick with sorrow and reverence. Dressed in white, symbolizing purity and peace, Princess Inikpi walked to the edge of the river. She turned to her people, her voice steady and filled with love. She said, "Do not weep for me, for I am fulfilling my destiny. The land shall flourish again, and the Igala Kingdom will rise from the ashes of despair. Remember me not in sadness, but in joy and hope for the future." With those final words, Princess Inikpi washed herself in the river accompanied with 9 virgins, as a sign of preparation. Princess Inikpi was buried alive alongside with 9 virgin slaves who would help her in the journey to the afterlife. After the death of the princess, the king was devastated. And the people who were still in shock at the princess' decision praised her. Although it was an expensive and painful sacrifice, when the Bini warriors returned to war with the Igala Kingdom, they saw the whole town in flames. Surprised and confused at what they saw, they retreated, feeling that there was no need taking the war to a place already on fire. However, the kingdom was not in flames, rather, it was the blood of Inikpi that deceived them. A statue of the princess' stance was placed at Higa in Ida as an honor to her sacrifices.